Next time you watch a movie, remember what you see is not what you get. Special effects wants to preserve the sci-fi and the weird are now used routinely in films across the board. Tapping in on this development is Kiwi director Peter Jackson, who created the controversial splatter movie Brain Dead. He set up a new special effects company called Weta.
Well, Weta stands for Wingnut Effects and Technical Illusions. Illusions are spelt with an A instead of an I, because witty didn't kind of sound very good. I've done 4 films now which have all involved effects, and every time we've made a film, we've assembled a team of people together to do just that movie, and when that movie finishes, they go off and do other things. And then when I come up with the next film, we have to get them together again, which is okay, but it's not a particularly efficient way of working. So we just sat down and decided that we would form a company. Richard Taylor is in charge of the model making and creature effects department of Weta. He's involved at the moment with doing the effects for an American film. He's building a sea creature, amongst other things.
We've made it in 2 parts for ease of moulding. This will eventually be a large hand-operated puppet that will have fully cable-controlled functions that will bring its face, its brows, its eyes, its lips, and anything else that we think it needs to come to life.
Computer effects is something that I never thought I'd be interested in until recently. It's becoming very clear now that this is what the future of film is going to be. It's going to be digital, one way or another. You know, I mean, eventually film will cease to exist, I'm sure, and cameras will be recording straight onto like CDs or some sort of digital medium. George Port does the digital effects side of Weta. He's the guy that we're relying upon to sit down and figure out how the computer works.
First of all, you start with 35mm negative film. You take it over here into the scanner, thread it up, and it's scanned frame by frame very slowly into this box here. The data then travels on a little wire into this box here. From there, it goes across the room to another box, this purple box here, where we can manipulate it, add dinosaurs, do whatever you want, and then output back onto film again so that you can go and see it at your local multiplex.
With the movie that I'm working on now, Heavenly Creatures, we've had several shots that people won't realise are special effects shots. We wanted to have 2 characters standing in a very picturesque garden overlooking a bay. The most ideal garden for us was right in the middle of the city in a factory, the sanitarium factory actually, where the Weet-Bix are made. We were able to film the 2 characters in the garden by putting blue screens up in the car park, did a shot of the bay and combined the 2 together. Another shot that we wanted to do involved a character who's in the middle of a field and in the background is a huge castle. Richard Taylor and his team built the miniature castle, which was about 3 or 4 feet wide. We mounted that up against a blue screen, shot it, and then handed the shot to George, who could then composite the 2 images together, the field and the castle. The gear that we've got is essentially the same equipment that Industrial Light and Magic, which is a large American company that did Jurassic Park, it's essentially the same equipment that they have, although on a much smaller scale, whereas we have one of these machines, they probably have 50 or 60. I really like the Kiwi ingenuity. I mean, we're in a small building with in a tiny room, and we've got all this gear that we bought it and didn't have a clue really how it worked. We figured it out ourselves, and and learned a lot from it. And we're kind of doing it. You know, they can do it, so we can do it. It's a real Kiwi attitude, I think, which is kind of fun.
Peter Jackson's film Heavenly Creatures will be released later this year.